Hi, TJ here once again. Welcome to the Imaginary Gallery. Tonight's topic is Narcissistic Supply and defining exactly what that is or what that means. Well, in order to make this clear, what we have to do is take a look at the non-disordered or, quote, normal person. Well, a normal person who develops with emotions, a full range of emotions, empathy, caring, so on, that the narcissist lacks. They, as all people, are born with what I call a vessel. They're born with a vessel inside of themselves, and as they grow and age, the vessel's goal is to get full of water or liquid or whatever you want to call it. So their goal is to fill that vessel as high as possible, preferably 50% if not more, and if overflowing, great. So the point here is that this vessel gets filled by the good deeds they do. They help someone out with a problem they have. They help a person who's disabled cross the street. They give money to some charity that they really believe in. They apply for a job and get it and are proud of themselves. It basically builds their self-esteem and self-worth because it's a very sturdy vessel, and each little good thing they do fills it up even more, and the more the better. Well, that would be a non-disordered situation. However, we switch over to the nightmare of the narcissist disorder, or the narcissist situation, and they too have a vessel inside. But the difference is, it could be based on childhood trauma, neglect, abuse, or any number of things, but regardless, their vessel is there, but it's got a crack in the bottom. It's got a hole in it. So effectively, what that means is the vessel's never going to be full. Like the non-disordered person, the narcissist is defective, so it won't be filled ever. So because of this fact, what they have to do is, for their water to fill it or liquid, they don't benefit from helping someone, unless it gives them something they want. They don't benefit from being altruistic to others. No, that's a waste of time to them. So in order for their vessel to be at least fortified with some kind of liquid, they've got to be scamming, conning, or fooling somebody, and each little instance that they get away with puts a little bit more liquid in there. Problem is, as soon as some liquid gets poured in, it's dripping out. So it's like a panic, like, well, we've got to keep it full at all times. So that's why their lives are much more different than regular non-disordered people. Like when they oftentimes have like multiple storylines going on at the same time period. Well, because they've got to get as much supply as they can so it doesn't drain. Because if it's drained, they're nothing. They feel horrible. So let's talk about narcissistic supply. The narcissist basically is a monster. A monster that's a hollow shell, doesn't have much inside of them except a very few primitive emotions of hatred, envy, jealousy, and so on, unlike regular people with the full spectrum. But that's what they've got inside, and otherwise nothing else. So what they have to do is seek, for survival, sources of supply. So supply can be any number of things. It could be a young kid who's just been dumped by someone who figured him out, and so now he's deficient in his vessel. It's like drained out, and he's like nothing there. So he's quick to try to get that filled. So what he might do is find some poor innocent empath and flirt with her and tell her how beautiful she is, and so on. Well, as he does this, if the girl responds and it's a positive response, well, that puts a little bit of liquid in his vessel. And then next, he goes the next day, and he goes and cons someone and tricks them into giving him something they wouldn't normally give, using the bag of tricks that we'll talk about in another video from the narcissist. Or it could be someone who doesn't have very much money, doesn't like to work a lot, but wants to have a house. Well, guess what? That kind of person would find someone with a house, once learning they have a house, love bomb them. Oh, you're so great. Oh, you're the most wonderful person ever. Oh, yes, I love to be with you. I don't care about your house and money. I just want to be with you. Well, that's the kind of stuff they use to get their supply. So their supply could very well just be Well, a common one with relationships is the narcissist wants, like, the ideal thing for this person would be to have like an unending source of supply. So look at your own situation. See if maybe you're being targeted as this kind of thing. But what it is basically is they don't have anything. They have no money. They have no job or very little job. They don't have much of anything, but you have it all. But after one or two meetings, magically they're just in love with you. Oh, you're all they think about. Well, the point here is to trick you into thinking this person really likes you, and in return, they're getting their vessel filled, because if you invite them over or say, oh, you can stay with me or you can live with me, that's like filling up their vessel, at least temporarily for the moment. So that's what they're after, is to get something they're not supposed to get, but get it anyway. It's like, again, a kid. They're children. They're basically children that never matured emotionally, so they find themselves a baby or a child trapped inside of an adult's body. So they're going to get all they can out of whichever target, or targets many times, they can. So they're going to flatter you, and we'll cover the other steps for this process in another video, but basically go through the normal stages that they all seem to do because they're so original. They have the same game plan, which is sarcasm. But anyway, their supply could simply be having somebody to hang out with regularly. That could be it. Or it could be someone to have sex with. Or it could be someone who will drive them places. Or someone who will let them stay with them because their house is empty of all possessions, and they want somewhere to play that has TV and video games and couches and the luxuries of home that they don't have. So narcissistic supply also could be, once you figure them out, when they try to fool you and you actually sit there thinking with your cognitive dissonance, like, okay, well, you told me you were a great person, but you did this really bad thing, but at the same time you did this really great thing, and they get supply out of seeing you struggle with the thoughts of, wait a minute, are you good? Or are you bad? Are you Dr. Jekyll? Are you Mr. Hyde? And that's the way it works with these people, and I think that they secretly love it, to watch you in your confusion, trying to figure it all out, because they know that they're in a fantasy world. They don't live in reality. They create the reality as they go and alter it as they see fit. But anyway, the point with the narcissistic supply is it could be any number of things, and I can guarantee you they will not tell you what it is. From personal experience, I had a few that I barely even knew, and they're like, oh, I'm in love with you. And it's like, oh, are you kidding? And I try to it's like test them. It's like, you're in love, what are you in love with? And all I got was superficial. Oh, your smile. You're funny. Oh, you're nice. Oh, you have a house. Oh, you have a car. I said, oh, well, what is, oh, that's true love, yeah. But anyway, they do stuff like that. It's so shallow and superficial. But basically, I see it as this person seeking a new source of supply. And that's just the way they work, because their vessel can never be filled. So all they can do is try to put liquids in it from left and right and middle, but it's never going to be filled. Until next time, have a great evening. Peace.